let's talk about the holding up of the promotions. You've said you're, really just kind of delaying the promotions, not actually blocking them by just forcing the Senate to take a roll call vote. But isn't the problem with that the Senate can't realistically vote on every one of the hundreds of general and flag officer promotions this year? It would leave them really time for nothing else?
Well, we got plenty of time, Dan. We could have already done all 235 of these nominees if we'd have just worked at it and done it the right way in the proper order. But they don't want to take a vote on this. They've destroyed our CIA, our FBI, our education system. Everything that they've touched, they've ruined. Now they want to ruin and turn us into a woke military. And I'm not going to put up with it. And what's happened is since Roe Wade went back to states like it should have, they're trying to use taxpayer dollars any way they can to fund travel and time off our service members to get abortion, without any restrictions. And we've had an abortion policy, but they just went around Congress, said, hey, we're going to do this on our own. That's not how you do things in Washington, D.C. It's not how they're going to do things with me, with the ability to put a block and put holds on their nominees. And I told them that beforehand. If you do this, I'm going to block them. So they were warned in advance, but they did it anyway. But they could care less. They're trying to run this country from the White House without going through Congress, and I'm not going to put up with it.
But doesn't the overturning of Roe versus Wade change things, right? You've got women who are going to be stationed in places. They don't get to pick where they go. They get stationed in a place. And if they then want to go get an abortion in the state, for example, they live in, all this is saying is because we are forcing you, stationing you in a particular place, we're going to cover the cost of allowing you to go back to a state, et cetera, that would allow for you to get an abortion.
Dan, we've had this for three decades. We've had an abortion policy just like that.
But the law changed. But they wanted. Right? I mean, with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, it makes it state by state. So they could be stationed in a state that doesn't allow it. And as a result, all this is saying is we'll allow you to go to a different state.
No, it didn't change in the military. They already had a policy, and it was passed and agreed on with Congress and for many, many years. Same thing in the VA, but they were able to change that and go over my head with that. But I tried to stop it. But now they're trying to change it for the military. We got a policy. We've had it for a long time. We've had abortions in the military. It hadn't been any different. But taxpayers should not have to pay for this. I mean, the Hyde Amendment says no taxpayer money for abortion. And so they're breaking the law, but they don't want to go by the law. If they want to change this law, let's vote on it. I don't, I'm glad to take a vote on it. But
this isn't to pay for the abortions, right? I mean, this isn't paying for the abortions. This is just paying for the women to be able to go to the states because of the overturning of Roe versus Wade, and that makes it such that certain states allow it and certain states don't.
And we've had women all over the world stationed for many, many years, and this policy has not changed. It has not been abrupt. What they wanted to do is just show the people, show us in Congress, show the Republicans that we can make this change and you can't do anything about it. Yes, we can. And so they're going to have to find a way around me or vote on it. Again, I'm all for this. If they can get it passed, hey, it is what it is. We can't stop it, but they weren't elected to Congress. And so we are supposed to vote on the laws, and then they're going to change it. Just change it and get their people to vote on it, and let's go on with it.
Here's what Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, this is number 7, said about this issue. You were there back at the end of March.
Almost 1 in 5 of our troops are women, and they don't get a chance to choose where they're stationed. So almost 80,000 of our women are stationed in places that where they don't have access to non-covered reproductive health care.
Is that not true?
Oh, that's true. But it's been like that for 30 years. Not as many. We've added more and more women every year, which is great. I think it's fine because they do a great job. But again, they're changing this policy for several reasons. They want to pay for the flights. They want to pay for their kids also now. This is all their dependents. This wasn't in there. They want to pay abortion at any time. This has been abortion from the 3 as we all know it, rape, incest, and harm to the mom. So we just say it's for the time off being paid and for the travel. This is a entirely different abortion policy in the military. They want to change it just go through Congress, and I'm all for it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.